Birthday book and a wig making headlines this morning. TMZ's Michael Babcock live in Los Angeles for us. Good morning, Michael. Good to see you.
Good morning, Lauren. Thanks so much for having me.
All right, so Congress now has a copy of Jeffrey Epstein's birthday book. TMZ receiving some of the letters in it. What are you guys finding?
Yeah, I mean, a couple interesting things, Lauren, and you're exactly right. So this was that 238-page book that was made for Jeffrey Epstein's 50th birthday in 2003. And of course, this is sometime before he was ultimately accused of these horrific crimes. And nonetheless, this book is of great interest because people want to know who Jeffrey Epstein was friends with and who was he kind of corresponding with. And obviously there was a lot to be learned, I think, in this book. So look, we know Donald Trump has allegedly written this note to Jeffrey Epstein in the book, which he has said is not, from him, not real. That's what he says. There's something else. There was another reference to Donald Trump that's interesting from this guy, Joel Pashkow, who was a businessman and a longtime Mar-a-Lago member. And in the birthday book, he writes a letter to Jeffrey, and he jokes about Jeffrey selling a woman who was fully depreciated, was the wording, for $22,500 to Donald Trump. So it's this guy, this businessman who belongs to Mar-a-Lago, making a joke about Donald Trump and about Jeffrey Epstein. So look, for whatever that's worth, some people will say, yeah, look, we already knew they were friends, and other people will say, hey, they're making a crude joke, and it's not funny. So I suppose it's up to everybody to determine what this means. But Congress has it, and now we're finally getting a look at some of these things.
All right, let's talk about another story, a pageant queen, shocking a lot of people. Yeah. She just revealed that she won her crown wearing a wig.
Yeah, this was, I think, probably pretty inspiring for a lot of people here now. So her name is Mary Sickler, and she wins Miss Nevada. And she then reveals that she was diagnosed in December of 2024, Lauren, with alopecia. Obviously what that can do to your hair. And she did not want to talk about it before because she said, look, if I go out there and I do well, I don't want people to say you won because of this. So she waits to announce it until after she wins the crown, which she does. And she says, look, I hope this is inspiring. And if it helps one person out there who is dealing with what I was dealing with, and she says it's all worth it. She called it one of the most vulnerable yet inspiring or empowering moments of her life. So good for her.
Yeah, clearly a winner. Love it.
Yep,
you can
absolutely.
watch TMZ at midnight on Fox 4, 12:30 p.m. on More 27. TMZ live airs weekdays at 3 p.m. on More 27. You can find a link to the show at fox4news.com for more stories as well. Thank you, Michael. Appreciate it.
Yes, good morning, Brandon. Liam Park was riding his bike with a friend in their North Fort Worth neighborhood on Friday night. He says all of a sudden a car smacked into him, and that's all he remembers. Park says the black SUV drove over him and his vision turned blurry. A witness at the Mercantile Square Apartments told police the driver got out, looked at the child, and drove away. Friends immediately ran to tell Park's mother he was hit as he was left in the street to be helped by community members. Park and his parents are looking for answers as the person responsible is still out there.
It's really mean of them to just drive away and not check on me, and now I have skin injuries and I'm hurt, and they deserve to get arrested.
Have a heart, man. Come forth. Just own up to what you did wrong. It's better than when they do catch you, how you're going to look in the end. Yeah.
Park thankfully doesn't have any broken bones, but it'll take time to recover from severe skin injuries. Now, in the meantime, he says his friends and neighbors are checking in on him nonstop. Neighbors we spoke to have concerns there's no speed bumps or cameras on the apartment complex's property. Fort Worth police are asking anyone with information about the driver and the incident to come forward. Reporting, I'm Peyton May for a Good Day.
Oh, it is so hard to see anybody hurt, especially when it's a little guy like that. I know.
A wild rescue in Lubbock today after a semi-truck nearly sent 2 deputies over the side of a bridge. Fox 4's Vanya Castillo is in with the video of this rescue. Vanya.
Yeah, this video is hard to believe. A Lubbock deputy pinned by his unit, the only thing holding him from plummeting to his death. Take a listen to the moment strangers jumped into action.
And we just saw it, all that over here.
In an instant, a deputy's world is turned upside down as strangers rushed to save his life. According to the Lubbock County Sheriff's Office, this morning, 2 deputies were outside their vehicle helping a stranded driver when a semi-truck hit one of those patrol vehicles. The deputies were then pinned by their car, one seen dangling over the overpass.
I heard a crash. Someone had hit that cruiser and pinned those 2 guys up against the wall.
And that's when strangers rushed into action, running towards them with ladders while others struggled to try and pull them to safety.
We got our ladder. The only thing we can do is just grab it and help out as best we can.
The heroes able to wrap a rope around the deputy and pull him to safety. Now, the Lubbock County Sheriff's Office giving their thanks to everyone who helped support the deputies, also saying that the 2 deputies and civilian who received minor injuries are all expected to be okay. The Sheriff's Office says the crash is under investigation. It's not clear if that truck driver will face any charges. Steve?
All right, Vanya Castillo, thank you.
The grocery chain H-E-B is planning its first store in Dallas. Many customers are anxious to see it become reality, but there is some pushback about the proposed location. Good evening, I'm Clarice Tinsley. A neighborhood coalition is concerned about a flood of traffic and what could happen if there's an actual flood along the creek behind the store. The grocer purchased land off of LBJ Freeway at Hillcrest Road. Keep this in perspective, the project is still in its early phases. Fox 4's Alex Boyer following the developments. Hi, Alex.
Hi, Clarice. And you know, Dallas City Council would have the ultimate say as to whether or not to allow that rezoning to move forward, which is what H-E-B would need in order to build a grocery store on that site. As we know, of course, H-E-B does have a big fan following, but many residents who speak in that area tell me that the new store would make a busy area that much more congested.
Parking garage back here.
Back here? Okay.
Store will be closer to the front of the property.
Beryl George knows the ins and outs of this 10-acre property located at the southeast corner of 635 and Hillcrest Road in North Dallas extremely well. That's because she's part of a recently formed neighborhood civic activist group opposed to the bulldozing of the current medical office complex to make way for a new H-E-B grocery store.
This area is very congested already. Hillcrest is used as an offshoot for when there's traffic issues over on Central or you have traffic issues over on the tollway.
H-E-B bought the 10-acre site back in January. The Texas-based company is hoping to build a 127,000 square foot grocery store along with a 2-story parking garage. The location is currently zoned for neighborhood office. H-E-B is asking the city to rezone it to regional retail, which would allow for 80% lot coverage and structures up to 70 feet high. I talked to the president of the nearby Hillcrest Forest Neighborhood Association by phone.
H-E-B is like a big box on steroids. This location was never intended for a regional retail use that attracts customers from all over North Dallas and beyond.
Bruce Wilkie said he's heard from many concerned residents, especially those who live closest to the site.
It's going to generate a massive amount of traffic.
H-E-B has been growing in North Texas and has a huge fan following, as seen with this recent store opening in the city of Melissa. For its Dallas proposal, H-E-B has presented the city with a traffic mitigation plan that includes adding a new right turn lane at Hillcrest and 635 and modifying the Hillcrest Plaza Drive intersection with Hillcrest Road to allow for 2 left turn lanes, among other traffic enhancements. And in a recent social media post said, "Your input is important to us, and we look forward to continuing the conversation about our Hillcrest LBJ store." Still, George points out that there are 12 grocery stores within 2.5 miles of the site, and she just doesn't think the location is the right fit for one of their busy stores, especially on a site that backs up to a floodplain along White Rock Creek. George says the one-way rear exit has been closed 8 times so far this year due to flooding.
So where is the back exit going to go, right?
From H-E-B.
Yeah, from H-E-B.
So H-E-B, meanwhile, is hosting a community meeting that's coming up tonight at 6 p.m. It's being held at the Weston Park Central. Of course, anyone with an opinion on this project is encouraged to attend. Back to you.
Alex, thank you.